All right, good morning, traders. Today is March 26th, 2025. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody in podcast land, digital land, cyber land, YouTube land, video land. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for finding the value in my content. Thank you for subscribing, and especially for the kind comments. Thank you, members, for your subscriptions to our services. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All of the Fab Five still in daily downtrends, all made higher highs and higher lows, closing over bullish traps over their falling 17 EMAs. My SPY pivot this morning is 574. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY close with 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. So we're looking for continuation of that 10-minute uptrend. Yesterday's candle was a doji candle, so I'm not expecting it to go too far, all right, because there were obviously bulls and bears agreeing on price yesterday with that doji candle or spinning top they left us off with. All right, gold and silver, both in daily uptrends, both made higher lows and higher highs, closing over bullish traps over their 17 EMAs. USO in a daily uptrend made a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap and over a flat 17 EMA. UNG, high flyer, made a lower high and a lower low, closed below the bearish trap under the flat 17 EMA. US dollar index still in a downtrend. Love that. Closed near the 104.22 area. SPY max pain for today. That's the SPY options that expire today. 573 with a put to call ratio of 1.33 or 1 1/3 puts for each call. That expires today at 4:15. Hey, good morning, Brad. All right, let's take a look at some charts. All right, so here we are with the QQQ. Let's go to the SPY. All right, so here's our SPY game plan for this morning. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way, kind of move it up here. I like 2 days till expiration options, 9 days till expiration Friday options, okay? I don't know how they're measured at your brokerage, but I like the Friday options because the Friday options have more open interest. I like the $2 to $5 out of the money, especially on increments of 5. So like 575, 580, 585. Those are the ones I like. All right. I like because they got more open interest. More open interest means more liquidity. More liquidity means I can get in and out with less slippage. All right. So those are the ones I like. $2 to $5 out of the money. All right. SPY pivot 574. You can see where price moved up and then pulled back right here. So they seem to be waffling back and forth on this. We do have a situation where we have consolidation over prior consolidation. All right, so that is a bullish environment. So we will look for bullish uptrends, 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. All right, SPY pivot again 574. If they break the low of this base, which is 572.40, that's my bearish entry. If they peak over this, see this bearish engulfing candle, if they start producing candles up here over that, that is my bullish entry. See this bearish engulfing on the 10-minute chart. So up over this, I'm a bull. Okay, down below this battery of tails, I'm a bear. All right. So over the bearish engulfing, I'm a bull. Under the battery of tails over here on the day before, not yesterday, but the day before, okay, I'm a bear. I'm expecting price to come down and probably test this area right through here. All right, that would be the open gap. All right, so that would be my target down here at the open gap. All right, so there's SPY on the 10-minute chart. And you can see we left off with, you can see price action. All right, we've got, see the candle? All right, nice big green candle. Got the yellow line, that's the 3 EMA. You notice it's up over the white line. So that's a 10-minute uptrend going into close. And it's almost crossing VWAP there. So we'll see what happens. All right, so 10-minute uptrend going into close. So we're looking for a continuation of that 10-minute uptrend this morning. All right, I'm looking for a green candle. Okay, not any green candle. Can't be a topping wick candle. In other words, it can't have more wick than body and tail. See that sword right there? Kind of shows you that's the top. All right, so you got that sword. If that was green, I wouldn't play that candle. All right, why? Because the bears had more control in that candle. Okay, notice more wick than body and tail. All right, so that would be a no-go if I got a candle with more wick than body and tail. All right, spinning tops like this. Okay, not going to play those either, even if they're green. Okay, because you got equal pressure on equal side. I don't see control being dominated by the bears. All right, by the bulls. Okay, it's equal on each side. Bears have an equal interest. Bulls have an equal interest. All right, so nothing really happening there. All right, short, squat little doji candles. Not interested in those either. That doesn't work for me. So I need a decent green candle, something like this, even that works good. Okay, even this one with the big tail, if it's produced over here, up over the bearish engulfing, all right, I like that. All right, I just don't want a red candle because red is going to show me that the bears are in control. Okay, so I don't want to be buying into weakness. I want to be buying where bulls are also buying. So I want to see the institutions buying at the same time. So there's 10-minute chart. Okay, and that's what I'm looking for this morning. A continuation of the 10-minute uptrend. All right, we'll see what happens. All right, on the 2-hour chart. Pick up a clean one. Okay, you can see the yellow line clearly up over the white line. All right, you can see the price candles up over the yellow line. Okay, so you've got all of those are all stacked up over rising 17. That's the green dots over the price in the 3 up over the 8 EMA right there. That's the white line. And of course, all 3 over the green dots. That is a rising 17 EMA right there. Okay, so we just hit, all right, this teal line, all-time high anchored VWAP, all right? So let's see what they do with this, all right? If they get up on top of here and consolidate, that would be a bullish environment. All right, right now on the 10-minute, all right, we are showing a bullish environment because we've got price consolidating over prior consolidation. That's a bullish environment. So we'll see how far they go with this 10-minute uptrend this morning. It would be normal for them to get rejected here, okay? So watch the doji candle on the daily chart. Let me take those off. Okay, so on the daily chart, let's see if I can get it one more time. All right, on the doji, okay, so a breakup over the high up here, all right, that would be a bullish entry for me up there. A breakdown under the low, all right, I would look for a bearish entry underneath that. Okay, see the candle that was produced yesterday, all right, thin little body, little wick, little tail, all right. So if they break the wick, I want to be bullish. If they break the tail, I want to be bearish. So we'll see what happens. All right. That's usually pause, rest, signs of a possible reversal imminent. All right. It's what it usually says. Doesn't mean it's going to happen that way. All right. They could just be pausing before they go up higher. Okay. We did have a lot of nice consolidation yesterday on the 10-minute. Okay. We'll zoom out. Okay, you can see for the most part we hung out between 572. See this base low up to this area up here, 575. So we should get a nice breakout. If we don't get it today, I think we're going to get a nice one on Thursday. But anyways, there's the SPY 10-minute chart. Again, showing a bullish environment. All right, but we're also showing on the daily chart is this little doji, which usually is at the top of a reversal. Okay, so we'll see what happens. All right, so there's SPY on the daily chart. All right, let's take a look at the weekly chart. Okay, you can see we're still in a weekly downtrend. Okay, price action. See how we made a low right here? We made a lower low, so we're still in a weekly downtrend. On the monthly chart, okay, see we got a low right here, and we haven't made a lower low. So we're still in a monthly uptrend, but on a weekly downtrend. And on the daily chart, okay, you can see we've made lower lows. Here's a low. We made a lower low right here. Okay, so now we've got, what we've got here is like a higher low here and a higher high here, all right, as opposed to these highs. But I think this is just really just a pullback in a daily downtrend. We'll see how this plays out. Okay, so there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. All right, QQQ, let's pick up a clean one. All right, QQQ here, that's the all-time high anchored VWAP. QQQ yesterday, okay, just like SPY, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, okay, over a flat 17 EMA here. All right, we'll look at it with the quad lines. Right back here at the neutral line, that's the midpoint, half court, midfield, okay, whatever you play. All right, that's the midpoint right there, so that's just neutral. In the upper third, we're bullish. In the lower third, we're bearish. You can see they were bearish at one time. So they move up, they give it up, that's neutral. You move down, you give it up, that's neutral. Okay, so you can see price action approaching this all-time high anchored VWAP yesterday, kind of tagging it on QQQ. QQQ on the game plans. Take a peek at the game plan. All right, so we got here. Okay, price again over this, see this bearish engulfing move right here, same thing on SPY. So up over that bearish engulfing move, all right, so price over 593.6, 493.60, all right, that's a bullish entry for me, all right, right over that green line, 493.60. Okay, QQQ pivot, you can see price pulls up here, pulls back here, so 491.10, above it I'm a bull, below it I'm a bear. All right, bearish red erases green, okay? So red erases green underneath this pivot right here. See this consolidation low, all right? So that would be red erases green. I would look for that to come down here to the open gap and see how it deals with the open gap. It very well may fill gap. It very well may bounce off of the gap. So we'll see what it does. So underneath 489.30, that's my bearish entry, all right, for this morning. Bullish entry over 493.60, bearish under 489.30, all right. I like, again, on the QQQ, I like 2 days till expiration and 9 days till expiration. Friday options, again, $2 to $5 out of the money, all right. So we'll see how that goes this morning, all right. QQQ, not the same candle as SPY, so we'll see how that plays out. All right, so back to SPY. Just one more time because I don't think we looked at it over here on the scratch. All right, on that daily chart. All right, so you can see SPY. All right, still underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, tagging it yesterday and just kind of making a doji candle right there. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap. See, the 3 is over the white line. Okay, so that's the 8 EMA. So closing over a bullish trap. Okay, also over flat 17 right through here. All right, so it was a falling 17, now it's starting to flatten out. So closing over the flat 17 right there, closing right at the all-time high anchored VWAP. Needs to climb up there, hold that higher ground. That's what we need to see. All right, so price action, not quite in the upper third, all right? So it's just neutral right there, okay, just neutral. So there's SPY on the daily chart. All right, let's take it. Now, let me just say, since we hit this valley low between the two peaks and this all-time high, it would be normal, all right, for price to pull back and test, all right, the 2025 low anchored VWAP. That would be normal price action. All right, just saying, you could see us this week fall all the way back down to 560. Maybe not today, maybe later in the week, maybe early next week, okay? That would be normal price action for price to pull back and check the low anchored VWAP one more time before proceeding any higher. All right? We'll see what happens. That's SPY
Order
on
filled.
the daily chart. Okay, so put your low anchored VWAP right here on this day, probably March 13th, 2025. All right, and you can see you got your high anchored VWAP up here on February 19th, 2025. All right, so there's the low of 2025. There's the high of 2025. Okay, so it's normal for price to bounce back and forth between the two anchored VWAPs.
Order
and
filled.
Looking for signs of price action, either holding underneath for 3 to 5 days or holding up above for 3 to 5 days. Other than that, probably going to bounce back and forth between the two. All right, so there's SPY on the daily chart. Let's take a look at IWM. All right, here's IWM, higher low, higher high, closing over bullish trap, over flat 17 EMA, still down here in quadrant 1, underneath all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath the uptrend line, underneath the midpoint, half court right there. Okay, so just that's bearish down there. Quadrant 1, that's bearish. Okay, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, so Diamond Dow, price action, higher low, higher high. Everybody got the same candle. All right, higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the flat 17, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line. Okay, underneath the uptrend line, over the midpoint. Okay, not in the upper third, not yet. All right, so just neutral. You move up, you give it up, that's neutral. You move down, you give it up, that's neutral. Okay, same thing applies on each side. Okay, so there's Diamond Dow on the daily chart. Okay, so let's take a look at FNGA. We watch FNGA because it's got 10 of the most heavily weighted securities in QQQ and SPY. So it's really a good one to watch. All right, FNGA on the daily chart. Okay, higher low, higher high, closing over bullish trap. A little bit of distance between the all-time high, okay, and the price action. See, SPY already hit its all-time high, all right, but FNGA is nowhere near it, all right. So we'll take a look at FNGA closing over the trap, over the 17, all right, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's a pink line, okay, under the uptrend line, under the midpoint. It's just neutral, all right? You go up, you give it up, that's neutral. You go down, okay, and you give it up. Same thing applies on the southern direction, okay? You give it up, that's neutral. If they wind up closing candles in the lower third, that would be bearish. Right now, we're just neutral. That's FNGA. All right, so we'll see where we go with that one. So that's FNGA. Let's go take a look at our technicals. Okay, nothing but melting going on. Let's move this over just a little bit. Okay, nothing but melting going on. You can see we tried to hang out yesterday where we camped on the day before, all right, in the buy zone, all right, but the bears threw us out. So now we spent the day yesterday in the buyer's chop zone making little micro lower highs and lower lows, closing in a direction headed for the midpoint. So we'll see what happens today. Okay, so there's T2122 15-minute chart. All right, let's take a look at T2123. All right, we got a bullish gap that got filled. All right, we got a bearish gap that got filled. We have small signs of bullish behavior environment. You've got consolidation over prior consolidation. Okay, so that's small signs. We are up over the hooking 200 SMA. That's good. We are up over another prior consolidation over here. All right, so we got little signs of bullishness. We'll see what happens. It would be normal after passing through to come back and check the 200 to see if the backside of the falling 200 is going to hold price and hook us up back up to the upside. We'll see. There's T2123. Okay, notice the bullish gap got filled. Notice the bearish gap got filled. All right, we are showing a little bit of signs of consolidation. So it's kind of equal edge here. All right, I'm going to say bulls and bears, just like that doji candle we saw in the SPY. Bulls and bears both have control. All right, it's nobody. We are moving up. All right, but also it's, let's face it, it's a pullback in a downtrend. All right, so there's T2123. All right, T2123, same product. All right, we'll look at this chart right here, the 3-bar chart. All right, you can see we're still in a hockey stick. All right, see there's the handle, the neck, and then there's the blade of the hockey stick. See, moving down and holding the lower ground as opposed to having a V-bottom bounce. See the V-bottom bounce? Okay, that's not happening here. All right, so this is still bearish. Got a couple of green candles yesterday, or price bars. All right, followed by a red one. Okay, so they didn't hold it for too long. All right, so there's T2123, 3-bar chart. Notice price action still underneath this fading 200 SMA. Underneath, all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the top green line right up here. All right, and these two prior all-time highs right here. Okay, so there's the all-time high, two prior all-time highs right there. Okay, so there's T2123. That's the 3-bar chart. Let's take a look at FNGA. All right, nice price action here. Okay, still underneath this falling all-time high anchored VWAP. Tell you what I like about this. Okay, they're not filling the bullish gaps. All right, and we're getting consolidation over prior consolidation. Okay, and we're above the 200 SMA. All right, so look for resistance up above. We should probably go ahead and map that out. Okay, so that's a bullish environment. All right, consolidating, price moves up, holds the higher ground. That's a bullish environment. Those are the clues we're going to be looking for. All right, so we got little clues that price is moving up. All in all, this is a bear flag. All right, it's a move down. All right, it's a pullback in a downtrend is what it is at this time. All right, if we get up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, now it's something different. Okay, but right now this is just a pullback in a downtrend. Eventually, maybe this small uptrend, okay, will fade and pass, and the bears will take over and continue with what they're doing. So where would I find support? So I'm looking and I'm looking. It's hard to see here. Maybe a little bit there. I would say right about here would be resistance. Okay, so way up about 516. All right, got a ways to go, but this thing moves fast. So right about 516, 512, right through there. All right, got a little bit of support going on. All right, we'll see if we can, or resistance. All right, so see if we can get up there around this area 510 and hold this area, maybe consolidate right underneath this all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, let's take a look at a few sectors. All right, first sector we're going to take a look at. All right, let's take a look at XLE. Okay, here's our energy sector. Okay, this is bullish. Okay, because see, there's the high. We're making higher highs. Okay, so that's bullish
Order filled
on this daily chart. Price action, you can see up here a little sword candle. That could be the top for a little while. They probably need to rest. All right. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap. All right. Over the rising 17. All right. That's bullish. All right. But you got the sword candle, so be careful. Probably going to rest for a little while. But anyways, XLE up over this 12-month high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line there. Okay, up over the midpoint. That's the green dash. Up over downtrend line 1. That's the goal line. Up over downtrend line 2. That's the other goal line. All right, so up here in the upper third, that's bullish. All right, but not the right candle. Okay, just want to show you that that's not the right candle. All right, that's a candle that usually is at a top. All right, if you go back to SPY on the 10-minute chart, 10-minute chart right here, okay, you can see same candle at the top. All right, so that candle you just saw on XLE, that is a top candle. All right, doesn't mean that that is the top. It's just saying watch for signs of a top to manifest in this area right there. Okay, that's what it means. Doesn't mean it is the top. It just says just watch. All right, because there's a good chance price may pull back from here. It doesn't have to. It could consolidate and move over to the right. All right, so let's go back to XLE because that's what we were working with. All right, on the daily chart, okay, same candle right there. Okay, now you notice price moves up over all-time high anchored VWAP, consolidates for 3 to 5 days, and what do? You get rewarded with a breakout. It didn't hold, but you got rewarded with that breakout on XLE. Just want to point that out. All right, you get price, see how it moves up, holds for 3 to 5 days. Okay, holds the higher ground, you get rewarded with a breakout. Same thing again. Price holds 3 to 5 days, you get rewarded with a breakout to the upside. Okay, some of them hold, some of them can have continuation, just like this one. All right, some of them hold the higher ground, consolidate, and then move up higher. All right, XLE. All right, so this is what we got. We got the breakout yesterday. Okay, closing over the trap, again, over this 12-month high anchored VWAP, bullish up here in the upper third. So there's XLE. Let's take a look at USO. This is part of our energy, is our oil. All right, same candle, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the flat 17. Okay, over this is a 3-year high anchored VWAP. That's that is the post-COVID high. Right there, that's not the all-time high, just a 3-year high. It's the post-COVID high. So up over that 3-year high anchored VWAP, up over this goal line, that's an uptrend line. You can see we're up here near the midpoint. Okay, you go up and you give it up, that's neutral. Same thing on the southern side. You go down, you give it up, that's neutral. All right, so we're right back here, midfield, half court, 50-yard line, whatever you want to call it, right there. All right, so right there at the midpoint. All right, so that's neutral. All right, so just neutral right there. Okay, so there's USO. Let's take a look at UNG, high flyer here. All right, lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. All right, price action still in the upper third. I'm going to give it to them. All right, so that's bullish. Okay, price action up over. See, this is a 12-month high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line way up there. All right, up over the uptrend line. So probably going to pull back, test these peaks right here and this uptrend line. May even spike it hard and touch this 12-month high anchored VWAP up there. All right, that would be normal for it to test this one more time before going higher. All right, it's a possibility. I'm not saying it will, but it might. All right, so there's UNG on the daily chart. Still in an uptrend. Well, it's getting close. Looks like they're now entering downtrend because they made a low here. All right, and then they made a lower low. So UNG kind of in a downtrend right there. All right, so there's UNG. Let's take a look at precious metals. Here's gold. All right, gold's big high flyer. Okay, higher low, higher high. Okay, let's zoom in here. Closing over the trap. See the 3 and the white ADMA closing over the trap. But under the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's a pink line. That's the all-time high. Okay, way up here in quadrant 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's bullish. Up over a rising 17 EMA. That's bullish up there. So there's gold. High flyer there. Price moving up, holding the higher ground. Okay, so that is a bullish environment right there. Let's take a look at SLV. All right, SLV still in an uptrend. Again, making higher lows and higher highs. Okay, price action yesterday. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish cross. See the 3 crossing back up over the 8, over a bullish cross. Over the rising 17, that's a green dots right here. Okay, over the rising 17, this is a 12-year high anchored VWAP. All-time high is 48.
Order filled.
Okay, this is a 12-year high anchored VWAP. This pink line up over that 12-year high anchored VWAP. Again, you move up over this, hold for 3 to 5 days. You can see you get a breakout to the upside. All right, see that? There's the reward. All right, keep an eye on this when you play these price candles, all right, or these securities or
Order
ETFs, where you get price action that stays up over that all-time high. You know, for 3 to 5 days, you get a nice little breakout. All right, so watch for that. See, up over 3 days, and then they tried, but they failed. All right, then they consolidated some more, and then they made it up here. They got rejected. All right, so you can see this is what happens. So
Order filled.
Look for this pattern to work over and over and over. All right, so there's SLV. Let's take a look at a few sectors. SMH. All right, here's SMH.
Order filled.
Again, moving up, not over the all-time high anchored VWAP, but holding a bullish flag on the small side. Okay, they are in a downtrend, so pull back in a downtrend. All right, 3 to 5 days, little breakout to the upside right up there. All right, price action for yesterday, lower high, lower low, closing over bullish trap over the 17, up here in the midpoint, near the midpoint, so that's not in the lower third, so that's neutral, all right? Still underneath this all-time high anchored VWAP right there, okay? So let's go look at the cousin for the SMH, that's the XLK. All right, technology sector, they go hand in hand, technology and semiconductors. All right, so higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap. You can see the 3 is up over, the yellow line is up over the white one, over a bullish trap, okay, under the all-time high anchored VWAP right there, okay, over the uptrend line, back here at the midpoint, no longer bearish, all right, when they were down here in the lower third, that was bearish. Okay, so now they're just neutral right through here. Again, you move up, you give it up. You move down, you give it up. Either way, okay, that's neutral. All right, so there's XLK. Let's take a look at XLF. Nice high flyer here. Look at this price action on XLF. There's a nice V bottom. How come we can't get some of that going on? All right, so higher low, higher high, closing over the trap. Over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Again, you move up, you hold for 3 days, and then you get the breakout. All right? XLF, up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish. All right? Bullish up there, XLF. Let's take a look at IYT. All right, IYT, now that was bearish. I'm going to give it to him, all right? It's an outside day, higher low, lower high, closing over a bullish trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the midpoint, under the uptrend line. I'm just going to say it's not in the lower third, all right? It very well may be in the lower third, but I'm going to give it to him today, all right, because I'm a nice guy. I feel good today. After all that consolidation, I think we're in for a good move. All right, so there's IYT, just neutral. All right, right here. Not in the lower, close to the lower third. All right, close to being bearish right there. All right, so there's IYT on the daily chart. All right, neutral. All right, I can see they're trying. They made a little higher low, make it a little higher high. All right, so there's IYT. Let's take a look at the economic package. All right, let's get one more up here. Let me get it. And there it is. All right, so max pain for today, okay, 573, 1 1/3 puts, roughly thereabouts, that for the SPY calls and puts that expired today. So 1 1/3 puts for each call that expires today at 4:15. Okay, so max pain 573. So good chance we have a pullback to 573. All right, on the dollar still in a downtrend. Dollar making a lower high and a lower low, and another lower high and a lower low, and breaking minor support right there. See those two peaks breaking some minor support. All right, if it breaks below this low right here, that will be breaking some major support down here. Okay, right below that. If we can see this bullish engulfing, well, we break that. We could be in breaking major support, and you can see price come down here, test this breakup candle low. All right, I don't know why that's coming on. All right, so price action yesterday, we're in a bear flag, closed near 104.22 area, right around there. All right, let's take a look at the earnings. They got performance issues according to Google Chrome. All right, all this week, all right, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, okay, all of them. Familiar names, Cintas, Paychex, Dollar Tree, Chewy, you've heard of them all before. Okay, familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets, not the SPY or the QQQ. Okay, probably play a role in their sectors, but all in all, each day, familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets. Each one of those. All right, so nothing really big in market moving in there. All right, this one doesn't even want to refresh anyways. Okay, so it's the same thing I mentioned yesterday. The whole week is loaded with nothing but familiar names, but nothing to move the markets. Okay, on the economic calendar. All right, what do we got for today? We've got durable goods 8:30. All right, got a petroleum report 10:30. All right, on Thursday, got a lot of data. Main event is Thursday, GDP 8:30, international trading goods 8:30, jobless claims 8:30, corporate profits 8:30, detailed inventories 8:30, wholesale inventories 8:30. That was retail inventories, not detailed. Okay, pending home sales at 10, gas report at 10:30. All right, and that's it. Friday, personal income and outlays at 8:30, consumer sentiment at 10, and a rig count at 1 o'clock. Okay, so that's it. All right, traders, I don't know if you're still with me. I don't know why I keep getting disconnected at the same time every day. It's like they're doing a test on the internet out here. All right, so I'll see you guys all at probably like 9:15, and we'll kick off the market. All right, so I'll be back here at 9:15. If you got some questions, post them up, and I will do my best to answer them. Right now, I'm going to render my video, and I'll see you guys in about 30 minutes.